great Braylon Edwards and, of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Tigers Tuesday show, October 8th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit subscribe. My goodness, Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
You know, I'm extremely excited. You know, I really want to introduce the guys first, Ryan, because yesterday was a first for me, and I just want to talk about the feeling of it, man. So Tom Mazaway, Pete Spyback, KG, how you guys doing?
Doing well, sir.
I'm having a Coke and a smile today, baby.
and shutting the F up.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I won't do that. Look, you know, truth be told, you guys know how I feel about the Tigers, but I'm a Braves guy. Like, and I'm 100% honest. Maz knows that. You know that. I spent from 5 years of my life growing up in Georgia, and what did I see? I saw nothing but moments. I saw nothing but greatness. I saw Bobby Cox. I saw David Justice. The 4 pitchers, I don't even have to say their names. So I'm a Tigers fan back growing up here. I'm a Tigers fan by 84. I was born in 83. So, yes, I'm a Tigers fan, but a bigger Braves fan. You know why? I never had a moment, right? Never had a Tiger moment. I never had one. 84, I was 1 year old. I'd be lying if I said I remember Gibby hitting that home run.
Gibby.
Somebody
help him.
All I knew from the time I was in 12 to high school was losing. All I knew in college was losing. Then he had the 1 year he lost the World Series, but I was in the NFL.
You were playing during the Maglio.
100%.
Yeah.
I was playing, so I wasn't a part of it. I didn't watch that. I didn't have that moment.
I was on the air doing that game for you. My wife had my ticket.
It's a hell of a moment that you have, man. That you have, KG. You're working at the park at the time. Pete,
yes,
Ryan,
sir.
I didn't have that moment. I was playing. The only moment that I almost had was the one you hate, Big Papi.
Yeah.
The Torrey Hunter one. That was a series that I was back home after the NFL. I was watching. I was invested again. And then we know how that all ended. Last night, created a new fan, a new generation of Tigers fans, fathers and sons watching those moments together, families now realizing this is it. This is what creating fans is all about. Last night, what you had, they created a fan in me. I was watching the first part of the game with my mom, my dad, CP, shout out to my mom and dad. We were just sitting around watching the game and just family watching the Tigers game. Whoever thought I'd be sitting down watching the Tigers game with my father and my mom. Then I leave, go home, watch the game with my girl. She's telling me a story about what happened with her sister and her sister's boyfriend.
Oh, God.
As I am locked into this game with Kerry Carpenter up with the winners on, I'm like, all right, babe, okay. And then immediately after he hits the home run, and I'll let you take me through the home run, Maz and Ryan, but after he hits the home run, I'm like, babe, shut up. He just hit a home run.
Shut up.
And I just jumped out of my body. It finally felt good, like, to be an official Tigers fan and have a Tigers moment, man. Like, it was very special. It was very special for me.
Remember the Charlie Brown, the teacher?
Yeah.
Wah. That's what we hear. That's what we hear when our wives, our girls, we're not listening.
Yeah.
We're watching the game. Yesterday's watch party, the guys here, I said, all right, I'm staying for like 3 innings, guys. There I was at freaking 7 o'clock at night, still sitting here. I mean,
Six innings later.
Dodging the house at this
I
point.
got out of my seat in the front, like in the 6th inning.
Kenny, for what it's worth, and Pete, for what it's worth, Maz texted Braylon and I saying that he's never had more fun watching a baseball game with a group of guys.
We were having a good time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it,
Maz.
Yeah.
We had a good time, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's awesome.
we enjoyed
I
it, man.
swear, I got out of my seat. I made Nick sit in my seat. I'm like, we got to change the juju. I sat in the back. I walked around. Mac is here. We're busting each other's chops. Mac said it's going to happen. Carp's going to hit a home run. And then it freaking happened, man. I can't believe it. Scooble was outstanding.
Yeah.
Put his numbers up, Pete. Outstanding. He's an ace. He is a horse. And if you need him, in case you lose one of these 2 games for Game 5, he's going to be there
Absolutely.
on Saturday against Cleveland.
He's a left-handed Roger Clemens.
He's amazing.
In terms of the energy, the attitude, like the
Energy.
The pitches that he throws, he does not care. You know what's coming. He's still throwing it right at you. He's fearless.
Yeah.
Hit the pitcher, didn't matter. Hit the batter, didn't matter. Came right back at him. He's fearless. And yesterday we talked about it. The team feeds off that energy. I don't know when that pitcher has ever been the actual leader of a team, But in this instance, Scooble is the leader of the Tigers.
Emmanuel Clase comes in. Oh, it's over. It's over. Little did they know, back in June, I think, the Tigers actually got to him.
Got a run off it. They were up two. Cleveland was up 2 in extra innings, and the Tigers got 1 back.
They didn't
with
beat
the
him,
chance. No,
but they hit him.
Yes.
And what did I bring up, Rye? Drago.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's cut. He's a man. He's bleeding.
He's not a machine.
They could get
He's
to
a
him. He
man.
ain't a machine, man. And the Tigers had no fear. And then Clase comes in with 2 sliders instead of the fastball. And Carps just laid it out, man. And what a swing. Brian Anderson, I was surprised, man, that he didn't catch that was going to be a home run until it was
right
almost
away.
gone.
But he had a great call.
Great call.
He had a great call.
Dan Dickerson, phenomenal.
Classic.
The audio engineer should be fired, but a classic call. We'll talk to Dan here in about 20 minutes from now. And then the radio broadcast for Cleveland. Tom Hamilton, one of the best in the business. Usually an out-of-town guy will mail it in when the other team hits one. Not this guy. Pro. 3 great calls. The Tigers get that game. And how about the last strike call? It was like way down low, but they called it a strike anyway. Bo Brisky, man, he's got cojones.
I don't know if anybody's paying attention. I think it's Jeff Francoeur
It is,
calling.
Fletchy.
Okay.
He's great.
Francoeur was fantastic. One of the things he said about Clase, and I think they flashed the on the screen afterwards. It wasn't a jinx before. That Clase had given up 5 runs in 6 months.
Yep.
And he gave up 3 in 1 game to Kerry Carpenter. But one of the things Francoeur said leading up to the moment, not the direct pitch before, but he said, Clase isn't like the Tigers. Stephen Vogt doesn't use Clase like A.J. Hinch uses these Tiger guys. He doesn't wrap them around in a lot of innings. There's not a lot of 4 or 5 pitch, 5 at-bat
He's a one-inning
saves.
guy.
It's a one-inning guy. And I think that was really one of the moments in that game last night that you just could not turn away from. It's that Clase was not in that prototypical role he's been in all season. You pitch the 8th, you come back out, you pitch the 9th. I think that was, and then you got to give credit. 2 outs.
2-out rally.
Jake Rogers
Yes.
and Trey Sweeney.
Yes.
Yep.
8, 9, and then 1.
And then let me say this too. Did you see the stat by OptaStats? I'm going to read this for you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read this for you. Kerry Carpenter of the Tigers is the first Major League Baseball player to hit a 2-out, 2-strike, go-ahead home run in the 9th inning of a postseason game since Kirk Gibson in 1988, Game 1 of the World Series. So there is a list of 2 players that have ever done that. I got goosebumps just reading that.
Both
Kirk
Tigers.
Gibson
Because it feels like magic.
well, yeah, but Gibson did it for the Dodgers in the '88 World Series off of Dennis Eckersley. But my goodness,
The best reliever in the game.
you want
at that
Braylon
time.
when you said
100%.
moment? That is just
is.
these moments. Baseball is so romantic, isn't it? It's just so romantic.
Tell people about your Moneyball.
Listen, we cannot play this for you. I did put it on my Twitter at Ryan E. Fox 2. I put it on my Twitter. I'm sure you could find it. It's all over the place. The Major League Baseball, Fox Major League Baseball, put out the Kerry Carpenter home run with the Dickerson call to the Moneyball music. Guys, I watched this thing 500 times.
Yeah.
I just cannot turn away from it.
I sent it to everyone.
It is.
I texted it to everyone.
I just can't stop loving this baseball team. Even when you feel like they're out. And Scooble, right? Okay, Scooble needs 3 double plays he got.
Yes.
He needed to get out of innings. What did he do, Bray? Double
Got out of
plays.
innings, yeah.
But Kerry
against the
Carpenter
wall.
and these Tigers, who is saying no anymore?
Here we go, Ryan. Here you go, buddy.
There it is. There's the OptaStats that I was talking about. Unbelievable moments that you have with baseball. Who says they can't do it anymore? They absolutely can do this thing.
It's just great. Like here in Detroit, usually it happens to us.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
You
a
know,
fact.
we talked about David Ortiz and Torrey Hunter.
I was there.
Shoot, Michigan, for me, trouble with the snap. You know, in terms of last time I've seen something go from so loud in a home field advantage to so quiet, I think that's what it sounded like through TV. Or Robert Ory. Big shot Bob in the corner, against the Pistons. It always happens to us, or we're watching somebody else's moment. Like Maz, last year, we're watching the Texas Rangers. Like, how the hell did they get here? How the hell are they still here? Oh, by the way,
Diamondbacks played.
the Diamondbacks played. So you're watching other people's moments. Like, it was the first time. The moment was ours.
Yeah.
Like, the moment belonged to Detroit. It belonged to a Detroit professional team, and that's the Tigers. That moment, like, I feel like the Guardians were still looking at the Tigers as, we know them, same division. I'm not buying the hype. Yeah, they got here, and we understand that, but we know they're not a playoff team. They don't understand what it means and what it takes at the next level. They got a lucky win against the Astros. Like, they did not fear the Tigers at all until that home run. You see everyone. You see the fans. You see the Guardians. You see the Guardians manager. You hear the difference in the tone. They shocked the you-know-what out of the Guardians. I don't know if they'll be able to recover.
Listen, man, this is my buddy Rick Lynn, who was a
Hey, Ricky.
he coaches
Shout out.
baseball. He's an umpire. Great guy. Here's what he said, like 5 minutes before the game turned for us. He's like, Maz, I'm going to go on record. I don't care what happens. Of course I want to win. No one thought we would be here. What a fun game in a moment. Win or lose, first time in 10 years. I've been glued to baseball and enjoying it. And he writes me every single day when the Tigers are playing. In other words, we were all looking, and what did I say yesterday on the show? They got to score first for Scooble. They can't win a 1-0 game. And what was it in the 7th? 0-0. And then he goes out of the game. In comes the rest of the team. Amazing. They keep it 0-0. One of my favorite games, right?
Yep.
I love 0-0
I know.
games.
I was thinking about you. Actually, Tom,
hockey,
I want you to
give me
know
baseball.
I was thinking about you
Thanks,
all
bro.
game.
To me,
Yep.
there's nothing, and I mean nothing. It's like watching a show. A 0-0 baseball game or a hockey game that goes and it's sudden death. I was telling Mac, it was like the 7th inning. I'm like, Mac, this is sudden death. First score wins. But tell me all of us weren't thinking, we ain't scoring. We're going to lose 1-0.
Same.
We're not going to score.
Yeah.
2 outs. Oh, we got the bottom of the order coming up. Jake Rogers. Hey, here comes Trey Sweeney. Whoa. First and third, Carpenter. Fouls off a couple. He has not been hot. Let's say he's not been in the zone. He's not getting a lot of starts. He's coming in off the bench. This is a guy that plays half a year, 2 years in a row. But if you put his years together, he's almost a 40 home run guy. And then he gets the 2 pitches. Clase makes a mistake. Instead of giving him his best, he gives him his second best. And he knocked it the hell out, and he dropped
He
that
gave him
bat.
the same 3 pitches.
Yeah, three
in a row.
sliders in a
Sliders
row.
in a row.
100%.
That was
why I think-
arrogance.
Here's
That
why
was
I think
arrogance.
we weren't going to score. Because aside from Kerry Carpenter and an occasional Parker Meadows, you can't hit the ball out of the ballpark.
No.
You know, they
This is
need
true.
that 3-hit inning to score a run.
Meadows almost got his out.
He did. It died at the wall.
Yeah.
But
Lefty
the
on lefty,
Tigers,
by the way.
the Tigers need that 3-hit inning to score runs, and those 3-hit innings are very hard to come by in the postseason. You need somebody to get,
You need a bopper.
you need a bloop and a blast, or just a blast.
You need
and
it.
they got one yesterday. I'll tell you. Look, it's the Tigers, so it's probably not that big of a deal. It's the Tigers Guardians, so it's not that big of a deal. Had this happen to the Mets or Phillies or Dodgers or Yankees,
No, it matters, right?
but that ball that Quan caught was not a catch.
Pete called it from the
And
get-go. We
I-
all laughed at him.
I tweeted that I thought it was a catch. Initially, I thought it was a hit.
Yeah.
On the replay, I thought his glove was laying flat on the
Me too.
ground, and it bounced
thought it was right
off
there.
the glove and into the glove.
Yeah.
But then I don't know why we did not see this on the broadcast. But on Twitter, it's blown up.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Why you cannot blow it up? We didn't see the version online
No.
on the broadcast. From the broadcast version, I can understand. I didn't even think he caught
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Clearly hits the ground. Baseball was saved a little bit, their replay process, by that.
I will say this. I didn't have to look at him not catching that ball. He looked guilty as hell. He did not look like a guy that caught that ball. Did not, from the get-go. But then I looked at it. I told Pete, I had this computer up to my face, and I'm watching it. I'm like, Pete, that's a catch. That's a catch. And Pete's like, nope. And then again, I forgot.
You
I just had eye surgery yesterday.
Yeah.
What the hell do I say?
I thought it was a catch too. That was my response.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
So just look at the player. That guy didn't catch the ball. He was guilty as sin.
That's
what's
so
sold me.
funny.
I thought it was a catch too, but the main thing is they ruled it a catch.
Yes.
So it wasn't
Stands.
it
was
wasn't
gonna
enough
stand.
to overturn. So
Replay sucks.
Yeah.
In football and in baseball. It sucks for the most part. It sucks. They don't get it right like they should. They really don't.
I mean,
And basketball's a joke. They have the little 5-inch TV on the sidelines.
yeah,
That's
it's
the
bad in
biggest
basketball
joke.
for
You
sure.
know who gets the best? NHL gets it the best.
Yep.
They go to New York. No one even looks at it.
I mean,
they go to New York or Toronto.
football is a little bit better now. I was watching a couple of games this weekend, and they
Been
said
on the
with
mark a little bit.
with replay assist, we've determined that it's a touchdown. It does. They don't even have to go. So that's good. Here's Tarek Skubal after the game. Incredible game by him. You just feel every time he goes out. Remember when Tigers trailed the A's 2-1 or something like that, and all the tweets. I got this. I got this. You feel like. Skubal's got this. Here's Tarek Skubal after the game.
Yeah, I felt like my stuff coming out of my hand was pretty good. My command was pretty good, and Raj called a great game, and I was able to execute some pitches. I mean, these environments are awesome, first off. This environment was great. Houston's environment was great. So it's fun to play in these types of atmospheres. They're hostile and pretty rowdy, and it's fun. Yeah, I mean, I was in the weight room working out, and I expect that now from him, which is probably unfair to him, but I expect it. I mean, he's that good out there. It's who we are. It's who the city is, too. You think about Detroit, I think our team matches that, so it's a ton of fun, and the last 2 months have been a wild ride. Huge. I can't wait to play in front of those fans. They've wanted playoff baseball for a while, and we've been able to give it to them for a home game. So.
And don't forget, tomorrow we will do another watch party. We'll do our show from about 2 to 3. We'll break at 3 and flip to the watch party at 3 o'clock here on Woodward Sports, Bray.
Rogers and Skubal kind of forming that new duo, if you will. Rogers is caught for Skubal in each of his starts in each of his games, but
I like Rogers.
I like him a lot.
he comes up clutch.
He's a Tiger.
You know what I love about him as well as Skubal, and you see in this interview, like, it's even kill. Even kill. A lot of these guys in today's game are so passionate. They can't turn the passion off for the game. And sometimes it costs them, a lot of times maybe, but he's just even kill. Like, he's honest. He's at the podium. He's cool. Hell yeah, no, I thought this is a great atmosphere. That's a great atmosphere. He said, I thought my stuff was on. Like, he's just matter of fact and even kill. People like that are dangerous at whatever it is that they choose as a profession. And he just chose to be the pitcher for the Detroit Tigers.
And here's something that nobody talks about in relation to Jake Rogers. He doesn't have 5 pitchers he's got to learn. As a starting catcher, you got to learn, your 5 starters and then your bullpen guys. This guy has to learn 25,000 pitchers.
14 pitchers on the roster. 14.
I mean, and
What is
can
that,
be
usually
called
12,
upon
maybe
less.
13?
Can be called upon at any point. Each of those 14 guys has a tendency. Each of those 14 guys has a go-to pitch. Each of those. So there's so much mental that Jake Rogers has that he doesn't get any credit for. You don't even talk about. But he's done a phenomenal job, and this Tigers story continues. We'll talk to Dan Dickerson coming up in about 15 minutes on all things Tigers. Royals got even with the Yanks last night, guys. Can you imagine a Tigers-Royals ALCS?
I didn't watch an inning. I was
exhausted.
gassed. I was gassed.
That's
You know what I did?
Like, man,
What did I do when I went home? Tell me.
You watch?
You watched a replay of the Tigers game.
8th inning on.
8th
inning on.
You know what I did last night, honestly? Because I, too, was gassed. I didn't watch. Listen to me. I did not watch an inning of the Royals and Yankees, and I did not watch one play of the Chiefs and the Saints.
I probably watched
I didn't
6
either.
plays.
I
Couldn't
couldn't.
miss
Went
anything.
straight to sleep.
I could not do it.
That's so
I
great.
watched 2 hours of the Menendez documentary that dropped.
stuff is
on-
wild.
It's a good doc too.
I
But
just stared in space, and I think I had some
Were they
mini wheats for
assaulted
breakfast.
yesterday?
For dinner.
I mean, I wanted to watch something where, like, I was watching it, but I could fool around on Twitter and on my
Mindless
phone
television.
and stuff like
Right.
that. Mindless television.
television.
I could not pay attention to another sporting event.
yeah.
Isn't that funny?
It was
That's so great.
unbelievable.
I watched the Monday Night Football game for a little bit, but to your point, I was kind of gassed as well. Plus, it was nothing to see.
What a crappy
I ended up
game.
I ended up telling my girl, I was like, hey, just whatever you don't watch it. She picked some 3 women thing. I said, all right, maybe I should.
Right.
I'm out of here.
Perfect, Ray. You took one for the
Jeez.
team.
Right, maybe you should have had to say.
Hey,
Give and take. Give and
did
take.
you see these series? There's 4 series. And for the first time in the division series history, Pete, you can put this up.
I got it.
They've all tied at 1-1.
It's crazy.
It's never happened before. So
It
they're
is-
going. The visitors
Yeah.
now have home field advantage.
All four series.
You know what I keep hearing, and obviously there's going to be a lot of that floating around even now, but we talked about it, the magic of this all, the major league run. The word I keep hearing is it's never happened, or the phrase it's never happened. This is the second time ever. This is the second time since this, or this is the first time in 156 years. I keep hearing that term. I'm just saying. It's a reason.
Of the four road teams that can all close it out at home.
Yes.
How would you rank the chances that each team has? Like for
Wow,
me,
yeah.
I would say San Diego is one
Over the Dodgers.
over the Dodgers.
That's something.
San Diego. Because the Dodgers simply don't have the pitching. Jack Flaherty got shelled.
Yeah.
And they're
Him
good.
and Machado were going at it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see that dynamic tonight. I think the Mets have a good shot against the Phillies.
Let's go in 5.
Okay.
Going 5.
You know, between the Tigers and the Royals, I mean, coin flip. I think both the Tigers and the Royals have just as good a shot as anybody
They
to
do.
beat their home.
Matter of fact, yesterday I said it. Whoever wins this series is winning the World Series. Now, I was caught in a
Tongue
moment.
in cheek, right?
I was caught in a moment. But I believe whoever wins this series will represent the American League in the World Series. I
Tigers,
believe that.
Tigers and Guardians?
Tigers Guardians. The winner of this series will beat the Yankees or Royals
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and represent the American League.
Okay.
This is a tougher series than the next
I
one.
am with you on that.
they-
I am with you on that.
In the last
They're all tough, but
This is true, but in the last 6 weeks, they beat both of those teams in series. They've got the most energy. They know the Royals. They know that team like the back of their hand. They just recently beat the Royals to continue the streak to get to the playoff. And they beat the Yankees too. And Maz, you talk about all the time,
2
and
out
you
of
said
3.
too. Once you get past these three, it's the same thing with the Dodgers. Once you get past Soto, once you get past Stanton, and once you get past Aaron Judge, they're an average team. And you've told us all season about their woes and their false hype and their
They're
fake.
not winning the World Series.
So why the hell not? Whoever wins this between the Guardians
Yep.
and the Tigers, they definitely could beat those other two, the Royals and the
National
Yankees.
League is the tougher
Yeah.
league. It is.
Yeah.
And there's two games tonight in the National League. Both National League teams play tonight. You've got the Mets and you've
Phils.
got the Phillies at 5. You've
That's
got the Dodgers and Padres tonight at 9. Both games on Fox Sports 1. All 4 games will play tomorrow as well. So the Tigers play the first game of the 4 tomorrow. They kick things off at 3. Maz, you're wearing your Mets blue.
I got my Mets blue today. I'll be back in my Tigers gear tomorrow.
Sean Manaea on the mound
Sean
tonight.
Manaea, he is so-so, but the Phillies are going to be so-so as well. They pitched their best guys already. This game is going to probably be 9-8. It is.
So bet the over.
It's going to be
Okay.
9-8. Bet the over.
Unbelievable, man.
Good
It is.
stuff.
It is
Good
good
stuff.
So I'm back on the baseball tonight, though. You just can't
Oh, yeah.
turn it away.
I got my rest. I'm good.
You just cannot put this stuff down. And yeah, I don't know who the Tigers are starting tomorrow. By the
It's
way,
bullpen.
Yeah.
Neither do they.
Bullpen.
Probably Tyler Holden, I would assume. You send him back out there, let him redeem himself from that game 1.
Yeah, he didn't pitch yesterday. You could put him back out there.
Good call.
What about Bo Brisky? One more thought on Bo Brisky as we.
He's your new closer.
Yeah.
It appears that way.
He's your new closer.
Right.
And Willie Vest,
I
phenomenal.
like Vest too.
Phenomenal. Everyone is pitching great. There's not a guy that's pitching bad. Yeah, Tyler Holton had a bad inning the other day. Forget it. Forget it. New game, man. Game 3 and game 4 at Comerica
at home.
Park.
No biggie.
40,000 people will be
Vest
there.
is definitely kind of like getting that resume together. He closed the game against the Houston Astros, and now he's closing yesterday. So Vest is starting to add some wins to that, man. Once you add wins in any sport, doesn't matter across the board. Start to get comfortable. Start to get comfortable in those moments. Wherever that is for you, you get comfortable in that moment. And now you're just ready for it when it comes. It's like this is like walking the dog.
Hey, 2 games at Comerica. So Thursday they will play at 6, and then the Red Wings home opener at 8 o'clock
Unbelievable.
against the Penguins.
Guys, we're heavy interviews today, beginning with our next one with Dan Dickerson coming up in about 10 minutes from now, 8 minutes from now. In the meantime, I do want to touch on the other game last night in the NFL. KG did it again. Was
did.
the only one to pick the Chiefs
He
over
bucked the 5.5.
the New Orleans Saints.
Appreciate it, man.
Once it dropped to
They
5,
were the
he
only
jumped
2
on
to
it.
pick.
Well, sure, they were the only 2 to pick, but still, I mean, either way, Kansas City wins that game. They weren't given a lot of credit. A lot of people thought they were going to lose for the first time this season. Forget about the 5.5. A lot of people thought they were going to be handed their first loss of the season. They are the only unbeaten team in the NFL. Braylon Edwards, do you believe they are the best team in the NFL?
It always comes back to one player. It always comes back to the same thing, the same song and dance. Every year we do what? I don't care who you are, unless you live in Kansas City, you underestimate the Chiefs at some point. Oh, well, they don't look this, or they don't have that. Travis Kelce isn't this. Patrick Mahomes looks to be angry and yelling at the refs. Somehow they still make it work. They still have that guy, Patrick Mahomes. Didn't throw a touchdown, but he made the runs that you needed. He got the extra yards that you needed. He saves the drives that you needed. And then he got you 330 yards, and then you got Andy Reid. Andy Reid just finds ways to get guys the ball and just to get guys open, to scheme for that offense. I mean, you would have thought Juju Smith-Schuster was in Pittsburgh in his second year, the way he played last night. You know, the calls that they made. Kareem Hunt, he's like he's been waiting for the phone call.
Everybody in the chat is reminding me about the Vikings. I apologize. You're right. I completely disregarded the Vikings. Mike, Steve, Dante, Huron, J2, Rich. Thanks, guys. Completely forgot about the Vikings.
On that. I didn't even think about it.
Completely just disregarded the Vikings.
Yeah, but after what I saw against my Jets across the pond, to your point, yes, they're still right there. I think it is the Chiefs, and I think the Lions are right there with them. I think at the end of the day, it comes back to Patrick Mahomes. Yep. There's no disrespect to Jared Goff. It just is what it is. And Andy Reid. Yeah, Andy Reid is not only the head coach that gets these guys routed, gets the guys going. He's also a mastermind at the offensive side of the ball. So I think it has to be the Chiefs. They're still the defending champs. I think Chiefs, Lions are legitimately like they can grab their ankle. They're that close, and I think the Minnesota Vikings are somewhere in not distant but semi-third.
Listen, man. The AFC, it's over. It's Chiefs, Ravens in the championship, and that's it. The other teams, they have no chance, zero chance to beat the Chiefs, who the refs love, and the Ravens. The Chiefs are good. They're the world champs 2 times. They're going to try to go for 3 in a row, and the NFL would love to have them out there. Put the dog and pony show out there. Lions are the best in the NFC. Vikings, right there with them right now. Packers, right on their heels. But it's in the AFC, it's easy. It's Chiefs and Ravens. Nobody else.
I usually have
wait till we talk about the Jets.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. I usually have a rule when it comes to football teams. Whoever's playing on any particular day, whoever the best quarterback and whoever the best coach is, that's the team that's going to win.
Chiefs.
Yesterday, it was 2-0. I have no idea why anybody, including me, thought that the New Orleans Saints,
y'all keep doing
Dennis
that.
Allen and Derek Carr, less than Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
By a mile.
It's that simple. Guys, we're going to take a break. Expected to be joined by the radio voice of the Detroit Tigers, the great Dan Dickerson, the iconic Dan Dickerson, with another iconic call in Tigers history. We'll get to him next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Looking for a new car, pre-owned car, need some service? Look no further than Les Stanford Chevrolet Buick GMC. They've added the dealership, the Buick GMC dealership in Ferndale, located on Michigan Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. If you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands now under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
And if you want to know where the best Lions pregame party is going to be on Sunday, October 27th, you can join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at the Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, don't miss on out. Expert Sports Injury Insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday with, of course, D-Mac and Neil on Big D Energy. He joins us here on Thursdays. Trust the guy that D-Mac and Braylon trust. We all trust Dr. Pierce. You know what the deal is. Give him a call today. First, try him out online, michigansportsandspine.com, or call him at 248-426-9944. Michigan Sports and Spine. And Mark White, dreaming of a new home but feeling in a financial pinch. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242. Hit him up online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
It is a pleasure to be joined by the radio voice of the Detroit Tigers since 2000, the icon himself, Dan Dickerson, with an incredible call. Dan, I'll tell you, all of us in Detroit just beside ourselves last night. I saw this stat. I'm sure you've seen it by now.
Let me tell you stats.
Kerry Carpenter's the first Major League Baseball player to hit a 2-out, 2-strike, go-ahead home run in the 9th inning of a postseason game since Game 1 of the 1988 World Series when Kirk Gibson did it. You talk about a moment, that was it.
That's kind of amazing, isn't it? It really is. No, we just kept going over the numbers for Class A, and this is the thing that I love so much. The Tigers don't tell their guys, hey, lefties only hit 115 against this guy. They don't focus on that. It's like, what can you do to have a good at-bat? And I thought it really started with Wenzel Perez lining out that great catch by Stephen Kwan in left field to end the 8th inning.
Wasn't a catch.
That was a good swing at 1-2 count. And then it led to, Jake Rogers turns around 100 and pulls it. Look how they were playing Jake Rogers. They were playing him up the middle. And even though it's a right-handed batter, and he hit a bullet right by Rocchio at short. And then Sweeney comes up, and he's not overawed by the moment. He got a little bit jammed, but a line drive into right center. Now it's runners at the corners setting up what happened with Carpenter. But Carpenter fouling off some fastballs was big. The fact that he got 3 sliders in a row, people are like, what is he doing? But the other stat you saw, he hadn't given up a home run off the slider since 2022.
Woo.
So,
Amazing.
you can second guess that all you want. But Emmanuel Clase, I think, knows what he's doing with Bo Naylor. It was just one of those incredible moments and so unexpected given how good Clase is and how he dominates lefties. Just a lot of fun to watch. I love these at-bats that these guys are putting together late are incredible.
Hey, Dan, always good to be with you, especially after a Tiger win and one in which I had my first Tigers moment ever. When Maglio hit the home run, I was playing in the NFL, so I kind of was, de-invested from what was going on in Detroit, so I missed that moment. But here we are, my first moment, and proud to have it. I kind of cheated on you last night. Usually I listen to some part of the Tigers game in the car. Some part of the game I'm going to listen to on the radio so I can hear that voice. Yeah, I can close my eyes and hear it now, but I watched that one at home with the family. I want to ask you a question. In moments like this, because you've called to moments like this, like what's the experience for you as a lover of baseball, lover of the game, but also, the broadcaster for the Detroit Tigers? What is that moment like?
I think it's what you hear in my voice is a reflection of you're trying to really you really notice in the postseason you really locked into every single pitch, and so you're anticipating what might happen. So I'm anticipating. I mean, the most likely outcome to me. I said it at the time. I liked Carpenter being at the plate in this at bat. Not necessarily that it's easy to hit Class A, but I just liked Kerry Carpenter being at home plate. But I'm picturing a single, because we've just seen two from Rogers and from Sweeney. So I'm picturing a single to left center, and then for that ball to jump off his bat, you probably heard a little bit of surprise in my voice.
Yeah.
But that's just a moment. But I think the postseason, to answer your question, you're very locked in. You're very much glued pitch to pitch so that you're ready for whatever might happen. It's why we love sports. You just don't know, especially with this edition of the Detroit Tigers, what might happen in the late innings.
Wow.
Hey, Dan, what was yours and Bobby's take on the catch by Stephen Kwan? I thought it was a trap because I looked at his face and he looked guilty as sin. But everyone else thought it was – Pete Spivak said he dropped that ball. And I had the freaking computer up to my face looking at it, and I'm like, I think he caught it, Pete. But he didn't, man. What was your take on that?
The ball did not hit the ground. He got his thumb underneath it. Every replay I saw, it might have bounced in the glove, but the thumb was underneath it, never hit the ground. He did not trap it. I thought it was a clean catch.
Wow.
That's exactly
what I thought.
That's exactly what the TV broadcast showed. Now, I don't know. The TikTok and the Twitter and the Facebook, they've all got these blown up versions.
It's AI.
Because I'm with you, Dan. I thought the thumb of the glove was on the what do you call it? On the grass, and it bounced off the glove and up into the pocket. Right. Yes. Right. I'm with you.
No, I'm pretty good at those in terms of seeing the bounce.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it live. That's why I went with catch right away. And I'm looking for, believe me, with all my heart, I'm looking for that bounce off the grass, but I didn't see it.
Then Parker Meadows comes back and takes one off the wall. I mean, this guy is as smooth as a center fielder. He's like almost like a kid playing in center field in Little League.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, he's made some great catches that we all know about, but he's made other catches look routine that were not easy plays. I'm trying to remember where it was. Was it in game one or was it in Houston? It was a line drive. I think it was in Houston where he had to turn, run to a spot, and then quickly turn because it wasn't a deep fly ball. It was a line drive. Picked it up, made the catch onto the track, made it look easy. He is making the routine look, or the difficult look routine, and then he's making plays that are just off the charts up against the wall yesterday, like you said. That's not an easy play. You got to count your steps. You got to know where the wall is. Mm-hmm. He jumped up, made that one look easy, but he took an extra base hit away. And every defensive play in that game was big, obviously in a 0-0 game.
Dan, I got to say about the broadcaster. You know how I am about my broadcasters. We geek out about it all the time. But I will tell you, you can't have three better calls from all sorts. You guys, obviously you and Bobby, phenomenal. How about Tom Hamilton? A guy that, it's the opposite team. And usually those guys mail it in. Like if you listen to Yankee broadcast,
should have listened to Bob Costas last night during a Yankees double play.
You think Michael Kay is going to give credit to the other team? No. But Tom Hamilton, what a great call. And then I was surprised about Brian Anderson. Loved the call, but he didn't know it was a home run till it was almost gone, man. You hit it right on the head, though.
Well, the tricky part about that fly ball, it left the bat at a really high angle, and we just seen Parker Meadows. It looked like he had hit a home run that ended up on the track with Noel making the catch. So I was a little hesitant too. I mean, you knew it was hit hard, but when it goes off the bat at that angle, you really have to wait. And then as soon as I saw Brendan turn around, I'm like, oh, he just wants to see where this one lands.
Woo!
That's when you know.
When he dropped the bat, I'm like, oh, that's a home run. That as a viewer, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't have the luxury of watching him drop the bat. I've got
exactly. I understand, Dan. I got you, pal. I got you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Dan. Pleasure to talk to you again, KG in the sound booth. And I don't know if us fans and just, the national media alike are really grasping what AJ Hinch has done with this team, especially in the postseason. He's playing chess out there, not checkers. He seems to have an answer for every single thing that an opposing team does. Can you just speak to what you're seeing from AJ Hinch right now, managing this Tiger team through this deep playoff run?
It's hard to describe. It really is. I asked him one time, do you play chess? And he said no. And then I realized why. Because he's playing it every night.
Yeah.
In the dugout. It's phenomenal. And guys, the amount of work that goes into the game plan for every day to pull off what they're pulling off on the pitching side of the equation, with 2 starters for the last 2 months in Montero and Skubal, and now really one in the postseason. Maybe Reese Holson comes back and he's a traditional starter, but maybe he continues to do what he did the other day and have Holton open for him to get through the first 4 batters. But there's so much detail involved. So he is constantly thinking about, he's helping with the game plan. Chris Fetter does the game plan. The catchers do the game plan. Pitchers do game planning. But he's always thinking about, okay, what can we do to maximize every guy? You know how hard it is to win a game using 7 different pitchers? But the thought that goes in, and as he talks about the read and react to the moment, I'm sure he's got a great idea of how he would love this to go in a perfect scenario, but it's never a perfect scenario. The other day notwithstanding, but generally those openers have done the job, but it's where do they get you in the lineup so that you can bring the ideal number 2 guy into this part of the lineup. I've never seen someone so good at understanding where his guys match up against that part of the order going into every single series. And now in a 5-game series, he's got a secret sauce for the postseason. We watched in the regular season, but he's elevated this to an art form in the postseason in terms of understanding matchups and how that's postseason baseball. You need the big hit. You need to have some home run power. We've had big home runs from Meadows and Carpenter. This is not a home run hitting team, but you need that. Home run prevention is key. And then it's how you use your bullpen. Yeah. And I've just never seen anybody this good at understanding where his guys best match up. And I love what Sean Gunther said the other day. He said, it's about trust and belief. Trust that they're putting you in the right spot so you can have the best chance of success, and belief that your stuff is good enough to get these hitters out because of the constant positive reinforcement every day. Not just Pollyanna, oh, you'll be fine. But here's the specific plan of attack to how best to use your stuff to get major league hitters out. And I'm thinking of Gunther and Hannafy especially, because look how far Sean Gunther's come. Solid numbers down in Toledo, but he's a low 90s guy, but he's developed a splitter that's ridiculous, and he uses that sinker. He gets ground balls. He went through the 2, 3, 4 hitters, 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters in the 7th and 8th inning of Game 2 in Houston to get the game to the 9th inning. And that's how far he has come in a very short time. That's a testament to all that's going on with this work. It starts with AJ.
Dan, this is such a unique season for so many reasons, but for one of them, for most Tigers fans, I would say, I think I would say most, we didn't get to see this team all year long. They had the Comcast dispute. They were losing games. We really weren't sure what was happening with this team other than seeing some highlights or maybe whatever the case may be. I remember Kirk Gibson, when this team was 53-60, said, you know what, he really likes kind of the makeup of these guys. He likes where this thing is going, and there were some people that blasted him for that. Did you see this coming? Did you see these guys? I don't know if anybody saw this coming, but did you like the direction of this? Could you potentially even fathom it at the time that this group of guys had this makeup?
No, when you're 55 and 63 on August the 10th, when you're 55 and 63 in August, what you're hoping for is a nice finish, right? And I was very interested to see how this team would finish, given that look at all the roster moves that occurred in about a 3-week period. Carpenter and Green come off the IL. Dingler gets to call up first. Torkelson and Meadows come back from AAA, and Young and Sweeney come up. That's a lot of change. And I was excited to see what the Tigers had. And I love the fact that A.J. Hinch challenged these guys. It's like they always talk about continued development at the major league level, and that's going to go on your whole career if you're a really good player. But they never stop talking about winning. And that's, I think, a really important element of this. Understanding what your routine has to be. AJ talks about this with young players all the time. Biggest number one job they have coming up, learn a routine. What's your routine going to be like at the major league level? And then understanding all that has to go on in one day to win one game. He makes fun of himself about talking about that one day at a time approach. But when you understand that it takes, I've got to have 50 touches with Gary Jones before I go play in the outfield. I've got to go out and do my work with Joey Cora. It's just 5 minutes, but it's probably 35 ground balls real quick, right by the dugout. And then I've got to come up with a game plan if I'm a hitter for today's game. I know the staff is going to come up with one, but I've got to do my own work. All of those things that go in. I've got to get to the strength and conditioning room. I've got to get to the weight room before I get into the cage. Once I understand all of these things, then it takes the pressure off when you're actually standing at home plate or on the pitcher's mound. And that's what I think I've enjoyed the most. No, could we have seen this coming? Not, absolutely not. But once it started to feed on itself and this aggressive first to third base running, which has been the best in the league this year, and those late inning at bats, even in a game where they hadn't scored runs, they kept coming up with those big late inning at bats. That shows a dedication to the approach. Even if it didn't work in your first 3 at bats, you're going to make sure it's going to work in the late innings when you really need that good at bat. Might not always work, but the quality at bats we're seeing late are phenomenal. So once it starts feeding on itself, whether it's the pass baton approach at the plate, whether it's running first to third, and now Jake Rogers is running first to third like a maniac. He says scampering from first to third. I mean, and then the pitchers, I put up a 0. I want to put up a 0 because I'm following that guy who just put up a 0. All of it becomes very infectious. And that's when you get those, those teams that are, it's fun. When the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, sounds like a cliche, but it's real when you believe like these guys do.
Dan, and I wanted to ask you about 2 of the pitchers on this team that haven't had the best of outings. Tyler Holden first, he had that rough inning in game 1 and gave up 5 runs. And then also Jackson Jobe, who we haven't seen since the Astros series, but he also had a rough go of it in that 7th inning when he was brought out. Tyler Holden, I kind of expect him to maybe start this next game, but what is your take on him and what you thought about game 1 and what you expect from him going forward? And Jackson Jobe, will we see him again during this ALDS series, and what do you expect from him?
Oh, absolutely on Jackson Jobe. We will see him again. Again, look at how they used. We'll start with Jackson Jobe first. Look at how they used him in that situation. Everybody's like, "What are you doing? Bring him into a 1-0 game in the 7th." Well, again, this is A.J. Hinch understanding what he has, understanding that Bo Brisket was the guy he needed to get through the 2 through 5 hitters, and then Jackson Jobe. He's on the roster for a reason. There's not going to be any soft landing here. There's not going to be a guaranteed 5-1 game or a game where they're down 6-1 where you can bring him in to get some work. Every game might be like this. So bring him in there, put him in the best spot to succeed, facing 6, 7, 8. And look what he did. He threw 7 cutters, 4 changeups. They believe that cutter is a real weapon, and they knew it could get soft contact. And guess what? He got soft contact.
Fact.
Raised a guy with a pitch jersey, bloop single to center, and then there was, you had the ground ball that they got through, the soft fly ball, and there was no hard contact in there. So I think he's very confident that he can bring him back out, put him in the high pressure. He learned that he can handle the moment. It was 3 balls in play, all soft contact. And if the infield hadn't been drawn in, then that ball might be a double play ball. So Jackson Jobe, we will see him again. They like his stuff. But the cutter, keep an eye on that because that's a pitch they believe he can get anybody out with, get soft contact off of that. As for Tyler Holton, the other day it was double walk, ground ball that was an error, and then that changed the whole inning. Infield in again, a soft ground ball gets through. If the infield's back, it's a double play ball. He got Ramirez and Naylor out. Really would have generated 2 soft ground balls off their 2 best hitters. Tyler Holton has been phenomenal since the beginning of last year, even better this year. And I don't think AJ, I don't know what he's going to do tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he runs him right back out there, because as Bobby pointed out on the air, the first inning's a high leverage inning with that offense, and Quan, Fry, Ramirez, Naylor. If he does what he usually does, which is put up a 0, and he gets through Naylor maybe to start the second or at the end the first, now he can bring in whoever he wants to start against the bottom part of the order. So those 2 guys are going to be big pieces. I don't worry about either one, and especially Tyler Holton, because what he's done the last 2 years, the consistency. I think it was 61 of 66 appearances this year. Tyler Holton gave up 1 or 0 runs, and it was mostly 0. And that's working generally 4 outs or more at a time.
Hey, Dan, I'm looking at American League Manager of the Year odds. Matt Quartaro of the Royals is the leader. Do you know who's off the board? A.J. Hinch.
Wow.
He's off the board.
What's that?
A.J. Hinch.
Off the board.
In other words, there's no odds for him to win Manager of the Year. He is off the board. They have Quartaro, Vogt, Cora, Baldelli, Hyde, Espada, Boone. And they have not available for A.J. Hinch. I don't. What are they looking at?
You can't vote for him, or you can't bet on him.
You can't bet on him.
Doesn't mean you can't vote.
Well, he's going to get consideration. I mean, Quatraro, Vogt. I mean, those are probably, I can understand. It's like who did the best job with what they. It's always about who exceeded expectations, right? And
Hello,
you're right.
Hello,
I was about to say.
Hello, Royals and Tigers.
So you can say, well, the Tigers went from 78 to 86 wins. How good is that? Well, given where they were, pretty phenomenal. But, the Royals, they lost 106 last year.
Yeah.
So he's got to get a lot of credit. And Stephen Vogt, that was a 76-win team, and they ended up pulling away from the division. Those are 3 good candidates. They all did a great job this year. I will never waver from my opinion that A.J. Hinch is the best manager in the game, period. End of story. That's no knock on anybody else. But the things he does, the way he thinks the game and the moves that he makes and what he's done with this roster, this is a roster that has 13 rookies on it. Half the roster in the postseason is made up of rookies.
Amazing.
That's wild. Yeah. Any sport, that's wild.
Listen, man, how about this? The last one, Dan. All 4 series for the first time in Division Series history are tied at 1 piece. Every single series is amazing. The Mets-Phillies is off the hook. Who's your final 4 right now, if you had to pick it right now? Come on.
Final 4, I've got Padres and Mets advancing.
Me too.
Padres and Mets in the National League.
Yep.
The Dodgers have pitching problems. And, and the Padres, wow.
Yes. Wow.
They can play D too. I mean, holy smokes. Wow. So I've got the Padres over the Dodgers and the Mets over the Phillies. The Mets, to me, I've never seen in the space of a week. I've never seen this in the space of a week, starting with game 161 against Atlanta. The quality at-bats and the big at-bats in the 8th or 9th inning, ridiculous.
Yes.
And as Tommy knows, I'm not generally cheering for New York teams. I really admire what they are doing. Really, really impressed. American League, why don't we just go with the central matchup?
Yes,
the
there we go.
Major League Baseball will be panicking.
Oh, panic!
Panicking. Kansas City's going to be 3 outs away from beating the Yankees, and they're going to be on the phone like, this can't happen.
It can't happen. TBS. No.
That Buffalo Wild Wings button.
Right.
Dan, continued success, man. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Have fun.
We appreciate you here,
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Love you, man.
The great Dan Dickerson with another iconic call as
fun.
Kerry Carpenter sends the Tigers back home with a split in Cleveland. Incredible stuff. We appreciate his time It's great to talk baseball with Dan Dickerson, man.
Yeah, it is, man. I had to ask that question about the moment because, you listen to it and, you're so caught up in watching the moment. But for him, he's calling it and he's seeing it through a different lens, man. I just want to get a little insight to what that lens was like. And just like always, he never lets me down.
As the announcer, and Maz, you're an announcer guy. I'm an announcer guy. You got to match these moments. I think, Brian Anderson for a national TV broadcast did it last night. Dan Dickerson obviously does it locally here. One of the announcers I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, on X, whatever, but the Royals are up 4-1 on the Yankees. Costas, they've got 2 on. The Yankees have 2 on, and Kansas City gets Stanton a ground into a double play.
Yeah.
Like, that's an exciting play if you're a Kansas City Royals fan. Bob Costas sounded like he was attending his dad's funeral or something like that. I mean, it was like unbelievable.
I don't think he ever changed the decibel level of his volume. Like Bob Costas, whether he's
calling
a game
disgusted,
or whether he's doing Real Sports.
Yeah,
he's the same voice, the same way.
He's like telling a story the entire time. That's what Bob Costas. He's a historian,
right?
He's not really a play-by-play guy anymore.
He's
still good, but not exciting wise. Adam Amin tonight for the Mets game.
Yeah,
great, and Joe Davis with
be fantastic.
With Smoltz. Come on.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by our good friend Anthony Tomey, born in Detroit. They've got a new bowl game coming to Detroit.
Okay.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that coming up. The announcement was made today, but first, a message from KDK Law. Dealing with divorce, child custody, other visitation, family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham have your back. 10-plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476, 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Oh, so does the Salvation Army, guys.
Here you go with that bill.
You know the scoop. Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site. That means outside a storefront. Or you participate in a virtual bell ringing right from your home. You can start right away and start making money for the Salvation Army. Traditional bell ringing begins Friday, November 7th, almost a month from today. Runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com. It's the Salvation Army Red Kettle.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness. We're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season.
And take advantage of our $20 haircut special.
Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or head to SwissINS.com.
Hey, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special. Scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Pleasure now to be joined by one of our favorite people in the land, the great Anthony Tomey, co-founder of Born in Detroit, along with so many other businesses, but part of Game Above, and big announcement made earlier today, Anthony. Fill us in on what's happening down there at Ford Field on December 26th.
Yeah, we're super pumped for this. Game Above Sports is our brand. We're just a subsidiary of Game Above. And we end up buying the naming rights to the formerly known as the Motor City Bowl, Quick Lane Bowl. Now it's the Game Above Sports Bowl.
Wow.
And you and your group doing so many great things. You know, we had you in a couple of months ago, maybe I lost track of time, but 2 months ago, with the announcement that Game Above is bringing a Big Three team, part of the Ice Cube League, to Detroit. And now this, you guys just have a ton going on there, huh?
Yeah, you know what? It just kind of fell into our lap this way. The Big Three is obviously what we're all about, and we're about helping the city and getting things going and getting things moving. But with this, that opportunity came up to us, and we're like, this is a ton of synergy, and let's just kind of jump all over both of these things and ride the wave in and keep going.
Hey, Anthony, as a friend of yours, as somebody that I didn't represent myself too well on the golf course last time we played.
We played well.
I appreciate that for the people. But, you and I have had countless conversations just about the brands in which you've taken over and repurposed them and rebranded. What is the energy that you take into that, whether it was Jimmy John's, whether it's 8 Mile Vodka, or whether it's the Big Three and now Quick Lane Bowl? What is it about you attacking projects and turning them to better versions of themselves? Because you do it well.
I appreciate it, Bray. I appreciate it. It's just one of those things, guys, where when someone comes to you and says, hey, what do you think about joining this, partner up on this or that? I think very deeply into these things. I don't just say yes to everything. You can't, right? Keith Stone, who is the founder of Game Above, great friend, of mine, and he's brought our whole group together, right? It's a bunch of Eastern Michigan alumni. Most of us are involved in sports, but a lot of other different, aspects of life. And it's just a great group of people to be around. And his vision and of what he's bringing to the table for us, and the group that we have just really makes it very easy to say yes and then take it to that next level. It really is just that simple.
Yeah, whether it's Born in Detroit or whether it's now the Quick Lane Bowl, which you repurpose it, you obviously played in the MAC at Eastern, so your MACtion is your thing. How near and dear are some of the projects that you work on? Because you are very much a representation of Detroit, and I know Eastern, the MAC, has to be a part of why that was also a thought in your mind.
It just made a lot of sense, right? We were there 4 years ago, I believe, and we had the best attendance of all of the bowl, whatever bowl name they were, right, at any point. We had over 34,000. We'd love to have a local team in that. That'd be if you could throw a MAC team at a Michigan State, man, that'd be unbelievable,
Just
right?
not Michigan.
That's not Michigan. I didn't even mention Michigan. We go 6-6. We got a lot of things are going wrong, right?
They make it this year.
Yeah, I know.
Right, for real.
I swear. But no, it's great. We love the city, and that's the biggest part of this. Obviously, you make investments to make money and do things like that for sure. Don't get me wrong. But the philanthropic group that we are, that's what we do. We did, the STEM Mr. October Foundation with Reggie Jackson. We're giving $500,000 a year to that. We're doing a lot of different things in the city overall, and we just love being a part of this whole thing, and it just all just synergizes together.
With that day after Christmas time slot, 2 o'clock, December 26th, downtown Detroit. I mean, that really has become tradition for a lot of families, for Tom Mazaway included over there. Oh, yeah. It's a great opportunity to take your family to a game. Obviously, the impact of having a great matchup, too, is every bit as – I'm sure you – probably can't even answer this now because it's your first go around, but what is that what is that like, I guess, that jockeying for which team is going to play in this bowl, that bowl, what have you?
I mean, we've been involved with it with Eastern Michigan. We're talking to athletic director Scott Weatherby, and last few years we've been in the bowl games for the last 6 years. So we're trying to get to this bowl. That's where we want to get to. It's a process because even if you say, hey, we're in this bowl, all of a sudden, the matchup that you get, you already may have played them last year during that time, so they move on to somebody else. So it's definitely a process to it. Now with the Big Ten being as big as it is, you might get a stud team in there, right? You're not going to get that. I mean, not to say a lower end, but like a Purdue or Illinois, you might get one of those middle teams, right?
No doubt.
Also, how important is it being a part of Detroit's rebirth now? I mean, we talking about baseball. You're from a baseball player. We saw what happened last night with the Detroit Tigers. Go Tigers. See what happened with the Lions over the past 3 years. Like, downtown Detroit is now popping. The NFL draft is there. So it just seems like a perfect time to be a part of that. This is the rebirth. Like, we're a part of what we talked about or what our parents said was going to happen. Now here it is, and you're at the forefront of it all.
Yeah, it's been amazing this whole last couple years, but especially this year, with the Lions, the Tigers. I mean, the Wings making at least a strong comeback, the draft, me personally having that Born in Detroit store down there. 100%. I mean, that's everything has just culminated to one big Detroit party, and it's really been awesome. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's downtown. I went to a Lions game last Monday night. The place was electric, man. It was unbelievable how crazy it was in there. Just everything about it, man. And this our group, Game Above Sports, we are totally committed to the city of Detroit. We do so many things as a group, individually. TJ's a partner with us as well. He's been the ambassador for the Quick Lane Bowl for 3 or 4 years now. So he's all of us just have so much pride in what we do, and this is really a no-brainer for us when it was brought to us or the opportunity. We just were like, hey, let's make this work.
Talk to me about the Tigers real quick.
Got to. That was listen. Skubal did his thing last night, right? At the end of the day, guys, if Skubal doesn't do what he does, we're not in that position, right? We didn't execute early. Parker Meadows struck out with a guy on third, 1 out. There's some other plays we could have had. But our defense, what we win with, our defense, those 2 double plays, Trey Sweeney, the throw-in, right? Sick play up the middle. Turns 2 on that. That's a tough 2 for Keith to make it happen either. So making 2 big double plays like that, throwing the ball, and man, he threw. I couldn't believe he threw another slider. If he throws a fastball, if he goes fastball inside, it's game over. That doesn't happen, right? He right into his swing path. That's what it was. It was perfect. He probably didn't have to even swing. If he swung just like this, it would have gone, right? It was just a perfect scenario, for a great kid. Man, that kid's come through a lot to get where he's at. And you're just happy, man. These guys are scrappers. They're a bunch of rookies, and they're scrappy, and they just get it done. It's awesome.
We need him for all the baseball segments.
Right? I swear. Last time I was here, I stayed for 2 hours. Last time you were on vacation, I stayed for 2 hours.
I was watching Pete Rose, man. Rest in peace.
The feeling you have coming back home with a split and a series tied going into Game 3, so much different than if you're down 0-2 in the series. Yesterday's win was huge.
Huge win. I mean, you can't underestimate being down 0-2. That's a tough position with no starter, everyone's going to go in and see what happens. So, I mean, just what AJ's doing with that lineup. I mean, he had Justin Henry Malloy leading off yesterday.
Right.
Had not one point in the season has he ever let off. Probably not even a thought, right? It's the craziest thing. He had 2 hits yesterday, right? He's just pressing every right button. It's what he's doing. He's pressing every right button. And you're not going to win every single game. It's not possible. You can't go all the way through like that. But they just keep coming back. And that's one of those things where, you can't teach that. That's part of the culture. It's part of the clubhouse. These guys are all ready to go, man. All 26 guys are used at every single game. It's really insane.
Anthony, was the Stephen Kwan catch a catch?
Man, I don't see how it was, but you saw it did hit the thumb of his glove. He's a lefty, right?
It's kinda
so
like
it hit
this,
here. Listen, once you make that call, you have to show that it's there was no angle that showed that it hit the ground. It had to have. There's no way, but it at the end of the day, I'm glad that wasn't the moment that we lost it, right?
Yeah.
If we had lost it for that, that's the difference. That would have been bad
It'd
deal.
been another Detroit sports moment.
For real, would have been the Calvin Johnson no rule catch.
Yeah.
It would have been the Dallas, twice with Dallas, right? The playoff game, and then
last year,
Torrey. I mean, it's just one of those things, right?
Talking to Anthony Tomey, our good friend, who is part of the Game Above group. They have just renamed the Quick Lane Bowl to the Game Above Bowl. Same time slot, 2 p.m., December 26th. Tickets go on sale, I believe, tomorrow morning.
Next week,
October 16th, Wednesday, next week. But anytime Anthony's in, we always got to pick his brain about baseball and the Tigers. And you mentioned the Lions. Lions go back to Dallas, where the scene of the crime was last year. Dan Skipper reported eligible, and that was a whole mess. But what do you make of these guys? I said that I think they're the best team in the NFL.
I think they are. I think you're right. You're very right about that. The defense in the first 4 games here have shown they're right there with them, right? They can play. I mean, Hutch is really – he's on every single play. Every play he's making, he's putting a pressure on. I wish he had a few more opportunities for sacks. He's getting held in every single play. Like, these guys are all playing. All these rookies are contributing. The offense looked much better, obviously, last Monday night than it did the first couple games. Jared came through. Bates has been solid, right? Like, a couple scary ones, but solid, right?
He makes me a little, I will say, he makes me a little nervous.
Complete team. I think they're a complete team, guys. You can see the NFL is every year is something different. I mean, who saw Washington coming in with the start with a rookie QB and a bunch of nobodies, really, right, coming through. Some of these other teams, like, no one really saw New Orleans. I guess New Orleans really didn't play that well last night, but they started off hot. Cleveland sucks. Why does Cleveland suck? They have everything they should. All those guys back from last year.
Right.
Deshaun Watson's not doing his thing. He's not fine. Maybe it's Chubb, right? Who knows what it is, right? Why? It's just that NFL every year, year to year, is totally different, and the teams that you think are going to be the studs, boom, and then everyone's hurt. It's like almost a joke.
All right, got a fun question for you. Obviously, last night, Kerry Carpenter is probably the biggest moment that I think Detroit sports fans or state of Michigan sports fans have seen in a very long time, maybe ever for some folks, kids that are younger, haven't seen these moments. In the last 10 years, 15 years, humor me, where does this Kerry Carpenter home run yesterday rank? It can be one if you want it to be, but in the last 15 years or so, what you've seen here, where is this moment?
15 years?
I throw a couple out there. Last year you have, if you're a Michigan fan, I think the Jalen Milrose stop on fourth down. And you finally know that Michigan's going. For me, I get goosebumps thinking about that. That's one. The Lions last year, whether it was the Rams win, Amon-Ra St. Brown catches the ball, whether it was the Derek Barnes interceptions against the Bucs, now you know they're going to NFC Championship. Those are just 3 to mention. I'm going with Kerry Carpenter, and I'm a Michigan guy.
Yeah, I think Kerry's, for the last 15 years, yes. It's got to be number 1. We've been so down for the last 10 years with the Tigers. And I was there in 06, right, when Maglio hit that bomb. That was awesome.
What does that bring? You compare them between the two. Carps, Maglio.
I mean, that's tough. Maglio right now is number 1. I mean, that was probably the greatest night of my life.
Can I just say this,
I can't
though,
tell
about
you what happened after that, but it was awesome.
Can I say this about that? Look, I was thinking a lot about this Maglio home run versus the Kerry Carpenter home run. If you think back, the Tigers, okay, it's a home run to put your team in the World Series. That trumps everything, okay?
You think they were going to win anyway?
Walk off. But they were up 3-0 in the series. So it almost like, they're going to.
It was kind of expected.
It felt like it was just a formality for them to get to the World Series that year. Yeah. I would still put Maglio number 1. It was a walk-off homer to get to the World Series. Yeah. But it's like hitting in basketball a game-winning three-pointer when you're tied. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can go to overtime. It doesn't matter if you hit the shot or not. You know what I mean?
You're right. Carpenter's home run. If we go down 0-2, it's probably game over.
Right.
Season's probably going to be over, right?
And you lost with Scooble on the mound.
Exactly. Now you've shaken their closer, right, who hasn't given up a home run in 2 years, right? I mean, that guy's stuff is legit.
Yeah.
His stuff is unbelievable. But all this is, you guys, at the end of the day, all this is straight confidence. When I was in A-ball, we were in dead last at the All-Star break. The player development guy comes down, Glenn Ezel, says, you guys are all finish the season. You guys are all probably going to be cut next year. We go 36-4 the rest of the way, win the Midwest League Championship, thinking, we're probably gone anyways. Everyone comes back. We keep going. We had a great next couple of years. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's all about confidence. Getting hot, yes, but you go up there and you know you're going to throw strikes. You know you're going to get hits. You know Ryan's going to come through. Bray's going to come through. That's just the way it is. Baseball is like the most mental game. I think last time I came on here, I told you, there's more 100-mile-an-hour throwers and more 500-foot bomb hitters in Double-A than there are in the big leagues. It's just the mental thing that gets you to that. That's the difference between Double-A and the big leagues is just the mind. I talk about that conversation with more people than you will ever imagine, because that part of that conversation, we're talking to somebody from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan is coming in just a little bit, and they talk about putting the youth back in youth sports, and they talk about doing it the right way and having a mind, and
that's where mentals develop.
That's where your mind develops. And I go back to what you said that time when you were in here about how everybody in Double-A has the athletic ability to make it to the major leagues, for sure, but they don't have the mental makeup to make it to the big leagues, and that's what separates people. That's what separates it. I mean, if you gotta have the want to be in that position, right? You want to be. Who doesn't dream of being bottom of the ninth, whatever, 2 outs, and Carpenter and hitting a bomb to win it? Who doesn't in their whole life? Every kid wants to play baseball at 5 years old, right? Your whole life you think that way. Any sport, right? You want to be the guy to make that magical moment. But it's that mental capacity that you can't get there. If you're that mental midget, they call it, right? You can't get in there. You can't throw strikes in certain situations. You can't hit the ball. That's what separates the good from the great. I think we call it mental little person now. Sure, I apologize. We don't say those kind of words anymore. Right. I apologize.
Watch it. I was going to help you out myself.
Pull up my card for you guys.
I love it. You can say it all you want to in my book, but how many guys have we seen that we played with or we played against that we knew were better players than us or had better stuff than us or more athletic than us? But they didn't have that last thing. They didn't have that mind. When adversity hits, they run. When things they don't know how to respond. When everything's great, it looks amazing. But then where are you and who are you when the moment gets tough, when the moment gets here? Those are the guys, they don't make it. Guys like us make it out.
That's how it goes, guys. It's about those guys, those moments. It's in sports. It's in business. I'm no genius. I don't know anything. I just make it happen, right? You just make things work. If you can say and put it in your heart and say, hey, I got this, let's go. Yeah. It's all about confidence. And you see so many people falter in sports and business and everything because they just aren't mentally strong, right? And they let things affect them differently. At the end of the day, you just got to go about your business and make it happen. And those are the guys that you strive to see and want to see in those special moments.
And again, you talk about business and what drives a business and what makes it. I mean, surrounding yourself. If you don't know something, surrounding yourself around somebody who does. Right? How many times?
100%. Again, I am not a smart dude, man. I just have
great
people around me.
Show yourself, sure.
I have great people around me. I've had my great parents that tell you all these things. You have leaders like Keith, right? The founder of Game Above. This guy, everything this guy touches, it's gold. I mean, you follow what he says. You don't tell him no. You're just like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's make this happen. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want you to be a yes man, right? But you know that if he's going that way, I'm going to follow him, make sure he's doing the thing. You're doing what he wants to do.
And it's great. We want these events. And we talked to Dave Beach now, the executive director of the Detroit Sports Commission. He was on with us the other day. Final Four are
last Tuesday.
Final Four in 27 and the regionals in 28 coming to Detroit. And it's interesting because you want these events, you want these teams, you want these new leagues, whether it's the Big Three basketball league. If you're going to bring it here, you want to do it the right way. If you're going to bring the Michigan Panthers here, you're going to want to do it the right way. If you're going to put your name, Game Above, to this bowl game, you want that to be a first-class bowl game. 100%. You don't want people to be like, oh, I don't want to go to Detroit. You want to make that bowl the best bowl it could be.
And that's what we're going to do. I mean, that's really we're going to do everything first class, the right way to do it. We're going to make it. We have a great experience, a special time here in Detroit. At the end of the day, everyone would love to go down to Miami, right? Or go to the Bahama Bowl for Christmas. Who wouldn't want to do that for when it's freezing up here? But everyone that has had a great experience at these bowls up here, because the Lions are a great partner. They do a great job. we're going to make this a special experience for these kids and these coaches and their families. Like, they're bringing their families. No one's be like, hey, you go by yourself. It's Christmas the day before, right? All these families are coming up here. We want to showcase the city of Detroit and show how special this place is, and make it, make the bowl as great as it can possibly be. So
last time I went to the Quick Lane Bowl, it was 2017 or 16. 2017 or 16. It was Central versus Minnesota. Well, Berkeley, they're both younger than me, but Berkeley was just getting to Central at the time, leaving Minnesota, and my brother Bailey had just got to Central. So maybe a little Edwards love in that Quick Lane Bowl, man. Come back, man.
The Game Above Bowl.
Game above Sports Bowl, guys. Game above Sports.
I was
above
Sports
Bowl.
The actual
Sports Bowl.
Oh, that's fantastic stuff. So will you be downtown tomorrow for the Tigers? Or
I will be. I'll be there. I'll be at DAC at noon. We got a couple tickets tomorrow, so we're pumped, man. My brother and I are going to be down there, and I'm sure a ton of other people will be down there. It'll be a lot of fun, and place could be electric. It's going to be insanity. I was there the Thursday day game before they clinched. When we came back, we were down, I think 3-0. Yeah. Came back and won. It was just electric inside there.
Was that an invite? Stuff. I'll take it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I got you. Right? I thought you'd have tickets for sure, man.
Oh, he's definitely got tickets. He's taking me. Anthony, thanks so much. Again, Game Above Sports Bowl, December 26th, formerly known as the Quick Lane Bowl, 2 p.m. Tickets go on sale October 16th. That's a week from tomorrow, 10 a.m. Get your tickets. It's a great family-friendly event. Absolutely. A great stocking stuffer, as Tom Mazaway said.
We're going to have great merch, guys. Great merch.
Absolutely. Anthony Tomey,
thanks for having me,
so
guys.
much. You bet. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Jets fire Robert Saleh. There will be a new head coach for the New York Jets. What did Aaron Rodgers have to do about that? We'll talk to Braylon coming up. But first, a message from us here at the pregame show. That's right, Lions and Cowboys this week. Woodward and Maine. Start your day with Woodward and Maine every Sunday from 8 to 9. Woodward Sports. I'm sorry, guys. Is this mic on? I did something to my ear. I'm sorry. Matt Broder and Terry Foster. Get ready, Detroit. 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then stick around for the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. The New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, 10 a.m. to noon. Woodward Sports, again, brought to you by Long Drink, Taller, your local long drink, Tangerine Space Machine, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
And you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use the code word Woodward, and get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We're coming right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
I bet you ain't never had beer from outer space before. I know you haven't, man, but luckily for you, we got plenty of it here, right here in Holland, Michigan. It is the Tangerine Space Machine, the easy drinking IPA with out of this world flavor. Smooth and juicy pause with a refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with Tangerine Space Machine, the official beer of outer space.
Look, Soroki's is so good, I don't even need to read to do it. Look, what you want to do is you want to go to Soroki's because they're popping up all over metropolitan Detroit, and you want to try the things they have. Now, the new thing that they have are the signature wings, and they won't be here for long, so don't waste time. They got teriyaki, they got barbecue, they got honey barbecue, garlic parmesan. They got all the wings, all the flavors, lemon pepper. For those of you like the lemon pepper that spice that sauce, as they say, come get these signature wings because it's time to turn up, especially with the Tigers playing tomorrow. And then also, this is still home of crispy chicken and pizza. So the pizza is done right in the New York pie style. Crispy chicken is done right, and so are the honey biscuits that come with the crispy chicken. So do yourself a favor, get to Soroki's and get that fountain soda right as well, Maz. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And not only that, though, it's fitness that fits into your budget. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, this is the gym. Everybody goes there. Everybody want to go there. All you got to do is sign up now. No judgment zone, trainers, and squeaky clean gym so you can do your thing before and after the workout. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential.
All right, welcome back. Breaking news today in the NFL. The Jets have fired Robert Saleh, the head coach, a Dearborn native, Fordson alum. He was in contention to get the Lions job when Dan Campbell was hired. He was hired in New York first. It is over for him. And apparently, if you believe the reports coming out of Florham Park, they had to escort him out of the building with security. He was not given the opportunity to address his team. Braylon Edwards, we'll come to you with this. Your immediate reaction was what?
I think it's best for the organization. Look, whether I agree with Robert Saleh and how he was as a coach or not, I think it's what's best for this organization right now. Clearly, he and the main player for the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, they don't have any chemistry as well. Robert Saleh called him out in the offseason when he should have been there. That was a big distraction. That was a big thing. And then we can't help but see what we saw on the sidelines after Aaron Rodgers scores a touchdown. Saleh comes up to him to give him the hug, and he clearly pushes Robert Saleh off. So if Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be your savior, things don't look all right there in New York. They're not looking good by anybody's scale or calculation. The best move is to remove and then start over. Jeff Albrecht is a defensive coordinator. He's now going to take over the reins. I think the defense really loves this guy. Maybe it can create some good energy there. There's no energy, good, bad, or different. There's just no energy coming out of Florham Park. And the words were, the locker room was at odds as well. So I just think it's a good move. Try something new. Like, look, this was supposed to be the Jets year to win this division. Aaron Rodgers, comeback song, swan song, whatever you want to call it. And it hasn't looked like that. It's just looked like a nightmare, especially on offense where we thought they'd be pretty good. So as a former Jet, I think it's time to get some new energy at that head coach. And whether you want to blame the relationship with the owner, the front office, Aaron Rodgers, it just was no longer the spot for Robert Saleh.
Listen, man, I'm 62 and a half years old, and I've been rooting for the Jets since I started watching football in 1970. Jets and Giants were my team. I loved Detroit was my third team because of Thanksgiving. They're an embarrassment. I've always called the Jets the Lions of the AFC, but the Lions now are a new breed, so they're not in that category anymore. The Jets are an absolute embarrassment. Their owner is a joke. They are a joke franchise. It makes me sad to say it, but they are. I mean, their number one fan, Fireman Ed, quit on them, and had to be brought back because I'm sure they paid him and they gave him nice seats. And well, you come back if you're going to get paid. They're a disgrace for what they did to this man. And I'm not saying he's a good coach because he was a great coordinator, not a good head coach. But Aaron Rodgers, and you guys know how I love him. He's washed up, and he is a distraction. He's a cancer. He's a cancer. All right, I'm going to tell you now. I'm sorry. I'm admitting it. He has brought this franchise down to its lowest point. By the time this season's done and next year enters, they will be at their lowest point since Al Woodall was the quarterback after Joe Namath couldn't take a snap anymore. That's how bad this franchise is. And yeah, they have a good defense. They got some young good players on the team. Jeff Ulbrich is going to give them a shot right now. He wears his hat backwards. He's in your face. He loves the camera.
That'll work.
Good-looking dude. Loved HBO's Hard Knocks. Always had to be there and always had to show. I call him like a little bit of a show-off. I don't know if he's my kind of guy. We'll see what he does with this team. But they are completely devoid of anything. They might get after Devontae Adams. Good luck, Devontae, coming to this. Right. Good luck. You're leaving the Raiders, who are trash, and you're going to come here? They're trash. New Orleans? They're trash. I don't know what you got to do, Devontae. You got your money. Pick a better team. Maybe pick Buffalo. Something. The Jets are a disaster. For what they did, they didn't let him address his team. He was shocked. Woody Johnson walked in and executed him as a head coach and didn't allow him to talk to his guys. That's bull. That's total bull. He lost his team a long time ago. He's not a good head coach. He's just not. Dan Campbell, God bless him. We lucked out, guys. Robert Saleh will bounce back as a defensive coordinator next year or the year after. He'll collect some money. Yeah, he'll collect some money this year. He's got a lot of money coming to him. But they are a debacle, and I'm embarrassed to be a Jet fan.
Some of my friends around the state pointed out that he was wearing Lebanon, yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah, but all the coaches wear those. They wear their home. All NFL does that.
I was just simply throwing it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, in terms of, there's different countries and different representation as it relates to USA. So that was more so what they were saying. I didn't say anything about it. More so just putting that information out there. Funny thing is, Carlton Davis II is on a 1-year contract, a 1-year prove-it deal.
Mm-hmm.
Sauce Gardner ain't going to want to be in New York after this.
Uh-oh. Don't say that.
Sauce Gardner went to King High School, which is half a mile down from
Fort Pitt.
I'm just throwing it out there, but I don't have to say anything else. I echo everything that Matt said, being a Jets alumni, and I haven't cheered for that long, but since I was welcomed in, I've been a Jets guy. You know how I identify, at least what team I play for.
You identify as Jet?
Yeah, it's my identification right there.
Hey, the word on the street is
he
was thinking of getting rid of Nathaniel Hackett, is the word on the street, which he should. He should. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, Nathaniel Hackett wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, pretty much. And
go ahead, please.
No, I just can't help but feel, and I know you said Robert Saleh isn't a good coach, but I just can't help but feel he got a raw deal in this whole thing from the time he took the job. Just think about it. Year one, you got to push Zach Wilson as your starting quarterback. Year two, that's true. That's true, but it probably wasn't his decision.
He didn't have any, no part.
So year two, you get 4 plays of Aaron Rodgers before he blows his leg out, and now year 3, you get fired in week 6 of the NFL season, and then you let the guy come to the building, and you didn't fire him after the London trip. You let him come to the building and have him escorted out by security. I can't help but think that Robert Saleh kind of got a raw deal in all this.
He got Joe Pesci'd.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he very well may have. The only thing with Robert Saleh is this. I never thought, and you know what? If you have a good quarterback, you look like a good coach. If you don't have a good quarterback, you look like a bad coach. I never thought that Robert Saleh looked like a good coach. I like him, but his teams didn't do anything well. Even defensively this year, they don't really impress me a ton. They had a nice game in London against Minnesota, but, you know, I mean, they just don't impress me at all. They don't look crisp. Everything looks so hard when you're watching the Jets play football. And if you do look at the standings in the AFC East, they have a game this week, and if they win it, they're in first place
at 3-3
in the AFC East. They will be in first place if they win this week. If you're the Jets organization and you don't believe this is the guy, you need a change. Why not make this call right now while you still have a season left? Why not get this rah-rah guy in there that's going to put his hat on backwards and get in people's faces? You have an opportunity in the AFC East to win that division. For as bad as the Jets played so far this year, you do have an opportunity to turn it around. I wouldn't count the Jets out at all.
I'm just saying that they're a terrible franchise.
I understand.
And Robert Saleh was supposed to be the no-nonsense guy. I just don't necessarily see how this works. And if they continue to struggle, when is the finger going to be pointed at Aaron Rodgers? You know I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers guy, but just being realistically, when does it eventually come around to him?
It's over. It is him. It's all on him. He didn't get in here, Bray. You said it. He did not work out with the team. He did his own thing. He's selfish. He's derisive. He's a cancer. And, yeah, he was one of my favorite players. And he has disappointed the hell out of me.
Yeah, it also goes with the arrogance. You know, it also goes to the arrogant side of things we talked about. When you're too arrogant, the thing, he thought he still had it. He thought he was Aaron Rodgers that won those MVPs. He thought he was Aaron Rodgers that could just come in and make things happen with this team because he got some players and got some stars. And that's just not the case. It's familiar. I know we got to cut the break, Maz. Reminds me when I was in Cleveland. Like, Robert Saleh isn't a bad guy, and neither was Romeo Crennel. But it just didn't seem like he ever had a fix on what was going on. It seemed like chaos to a certain extent. When I played for the Cleveland Browns, Romeo never knew what was going on the offensive side of the ball. He didn't know what was going on with the offensive coordinators. Guys could suggest things to Romeo, and I love Romeo, so no attack on Romeo. Guys could just suggest things to Romeo, and then Romeo would take it under advisement and do it. You think we should do this? He just never seemed like he had to beat on being a head coach. And when you watch from afar, you didn't have to be in Florham Park to see that's what it looked like from afar on TV, at the podium, in the locker room. It just looked like chaos. Chaos never wins.
Except for the pitching staff of the Detroit Tigers. We're going to take a break. Come back. When we do, we'll be joined by Chris Kiles from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan. We'll talk to him about all the great things they've got coming up. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Time to join the post-game show with Stick and Anson, friend of the show. They are both. Look, you know what time it is. The Lions are out here winning. So you want to be a part of the post-game show. You want to get your feet off. You want to get what you have to say. Or you just want to listen to some good talk about your team and the players that you love. Well, go to the post-game show with Stick and Anson at the Hayes Social if you guys want to attend. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Long Drink, 1800 Tequila, and Sabbath Coffee. Look, we're the #1 network in Detroit, and we want you to be a part of it. We want the people to have the voice. So if you come to the post-game show with Stick and Anson, you get all the chance you get. See you there. All right, now what if I told you you can win $1,000, or I take that back, you can bet $1,000, and if you lose, if that bet doesn't hit, we will reimburse you your money through the bonus bet. That's what happens in Caesar Sportsbook. See that QR above? All you got to do is scan that code, but make sure you use promo code Woodward1000. Woodward is in all caps. This is the place. This is where we make our parlays. This is where we make our bets. The Tigers, oh yeah, you want to bet them heavy? Well, you got to go to Caesar Sportsbook so you can get some of that action. Take some of that money home at Caesar Sportsbook.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
And listen, we all can't be like Bray, who gets this fresh Michigan merch straight from Ann Arbor. You know that.
Time it is.
I mean, this guy is just gifted over here, man. But
legendary.
We got the next best thing. If you go to woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab, hoodies, tees, hats, everything guaranteed to turn heads. It is October in the D, y'all. Y'all need this sports merch. So go to woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab. And also, while you shopping around, how about a little sip of tequila, man? 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with Smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila, and please drink responsibly.
Time to tell you about the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. Look, as a proud member when I was 12 years old, man, I love this league and I love what they're doing now. 3 years running, you got the 3C Sports League. We got to register everybody. We got to put the youth back into youth sports, ages 5 to 14. This is the ages, this is the target rate, and this is who we're taking care of. But don't worry, because I got kids just like you do. All coaches, background checks are done. That is very important for what they're doing. So don't worry, your babies will be okay. Get them out of the house, get them outside, man. Put the youth back in the youth sports, and don't forget, all of this for a chance to play at Ford freaking Field, where the Detroit Lions play the homes, the Kings, and the North. That's what it's all about, man. So parents, do your job. Register at bgcsm.org.
We absolutely love all of the partnerships that we have at Woodward Sports. We don't take any of them for granted, but this one in particular brings so much joy to our hearts because our youth are the backbone of what we do in sports. The youth is the backbone of what happens in our community.
And they're next up.
And it's absolutely, they are next up. And it's this partnership that we have with the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan that really warms our heart. Chris Kiles is the VP of Sports there. And Chris, thanks so much for your time in studio with us today. How you doing?
Great. Just want to say also, we appreciate and we love the partnership with Woodward Sports. Definitely highlighting our youth and getting our message out of having a safe, positive, healthy community environment for our youth to succeed and excel in youth sports.
Championship weekend coming up?
Yes, we're really excited. Really excited. Ford Field. We'll start early, 7:30 in the morning with our 6-year-old flag babies. All those teams make it to Ford Field, and then we'll go into our championship games.
Talk about it 4 years in terms of the Ford Field takeover. What has it been like? Like, what are the changes? How has it evolved in the 4 years that it's been around?
First year, it was all new. We partnered with another organization to start the Ford Field Takeover. We started our own takeover year 2, and it's just involved through our production. We use the big screen, so you just see the babies' parents see their babies running on the big screen. It's awesome. The kids are in the locker rooms, so they're treated exactly like NFL players. So it's the kids' dreams come true. And then we also have adult flag football games afterwards, so the adults get to come out and run on the field. So it's a great experience, a wonderful experience for the kids, youth, and families. It's actually a closed event, so we only invite youth and families to keep it a family-oriented environment and a safe environment, and it's a day filled with dreams from the youth on that day.
Yeah, Chris, talk about, I heard you use the term babies, you know what I'm saying? And when grown folks use the term babies, that's because we want to protect them. We want to take care of our kids. And one of the things that you guys are most sure about is the background check that you do on the coaches. Look, I'm a father, and we have kids running as kids, and it's very important to us that our kids are taken care of. So talk about why that process is so important.
Background checks in our volunteer process is extremely important because we want to keep everybody safe, and most important are our youth. So our volunteers must go through a background check. They also must go through Boys and Girls Club safety training, and then they also must go through interviews and a vetting process to make sure that we have the right people on the field working with these youth and pouring into them on a daily basis. And that's important to us because number one is safety.
As the vice president of sports, you have seen firsthand, we all believe that sports really teaches so much about just what happens on the field, discipline and teamwork and everything like that. Just in your experience, how have you seen youth sports change over the years, and what are you trying to keep so pure at the Boys and Girls Club?
Youth sports has changed in a positive and a negative way that we were seeing over the years. Positively, it's gotten bigger. There's more exposure. There's more chances for youth to be seen. But on another hand, it's also moved negatively with you've seen some of the violence, some of the parents, some of the coaches and trash talking, and most recently that walking through the handshake line with a towel or the belt. So what we're trying to do with 3C Sports, we're keeping it pure. We want to give the game back to the youth. We want to teach a healthy culture, a family-oriented environment, community, and also healthy competition where we can compete on the field, we can give it our all, and then we can come together and still be friends, have a community, train together, work together, and then also having the parents know that it's more than just sports, that the whistle will stop at some point, and we want to provide other avenues for their children to be successful outside of sports as well.
Because within 3C Sports, even though you're competing against another team, it's all the same. You're all on the same team, right?
Yes. All of our teams are Boys and Girls Club teams. So they just represent different clubs, but we're all in the same family. So that's what we want our young people to realize. And we want our parents to be supportive, not to put so much pressure on the youth to be successful, because this is youth sports. The goal is for them to get better, get to high school, play high school sports, hopefully be able to get college for free. And if they go to the pros, it's a blessing, but they'll have a degree at the end of their college, and that's the real win.
What are some of the other sports that you offer? Football championship is coming up, you know what I'm saying? So that season will be done, but there is winter, there is spring. So what are the other sports, and how does the calendar and the schedule look like?
So we offer basketball. Basketball will start in January. We're really excited about that. And that'll start after our nationals in Florida. So basketball start in January, and that goes January to March. And we do co-ed basketball, and then we'll do flag football in April, and we do girls and boys. Our girls flag football league is probably one of our funnest. Our funnest sports. Our girls go really hard. Our BGC Gators, which my daughter plays for, they're two-time champions.
Let's go Gators.
And then we'll go into 7-on-7. So we do 7-on-7 in May, and then we'll go into T-ball and coaches pitch baseball in the summer. And then we'll go into flag football. But one thing that we're doing special this year, we're going to do travel, and this is a breaking announcement. We're going to do travel 7-on-7. So with 3C Sports, so we'll take high schoolers, 14U and 12U, and they'll participate in travel tournaments, take college tours, and that'll go from January until May as well.
That's so awesome.
So with that, you'll take the best of the best at that age?
Yes.
Okay, I like it.
That's so fantastic. I'm talking to Chris Kiles, Vice President of 3C Sports, part of the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan. I'm a big fan of Rocky. And there's a line. A line in Rocky 1.
We get a line. By the way, we get a Rocky line every day.
Every show.
Luckily,
Every single show.
We get a
It's
Rocky
5 shows
every day. Okay. So here's the one today. It's a very simple quote. Rocky tells Little Marie, "You hang around good people, you do good things. You hang around bad people, you do bad things." And I just think the community aspect, when you are exposed to all of the good people, from the kids to the coaches to the mentors to the referees to the business owners to everything, it just sets you up to get ahead in life. And I just think that's the atmosphere that you're providing at the Boys and Girls Club. Talk to me about if people want to get involved. Maybe they want to be a volunteer. Maybe they want their kid to be exposed. Whatever the case may be, how do they go about doing that?
So it's real simple. They go on our website, www.bgcsm.org. They go to the Get Involved tab. They can sign up for a club, and they can sign up also to be a volunteer. And then the executive director and the athletic director of that club will reach out to them. Each of our clubs, they're attached to a team. So, like I said, our East Point club is the BGC Gators. They reach out, they ask to volunteer, or they sign up, and then the athletic director and executive director will reach out for membership and get them involved in the programs.
It's just, it's incredible. And Braylon, talks about his experience all the time.
Yeah.
And, one of the impressive things, you don't have to be a professional athlete. You don't have to come out of this thing and be a professional athlete, but you be a pro person. Be a pro at being an adult, right?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, if I may, Chris, for me, going to Boys and Girls Club at 12 years old, I moved to Georgia when I was 6, and then moved back to Detroit when I was 13 or when I was 12. Excuse me. When my dad would take me to the Boys and Girls Club, because obviously they had jobs in summer, they were doing their thing, at 12, I'm leery. I didn't want to be dropped off. Like, I'm mama's boy. I'm already mad at my dad's house, and then he has the nerve to drop me off. It's like, dang. So I went in, just didn't want to be there. I mean, very skeptical of the whole situation. Michigan and Illinois. And when I got in there at 12 years old, I still remember like it was yesterday. I couldn't have been more wrong about what the place represented, about how the guidance counselors were, about the team, the staff, about what they were teaching and what they were allowing. This is before the 3C Sports League, but I always remembered that feeling. So, I'm listening. I'm very invested like Ryan, man. We love what you guys are doing, how it's expanded. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the studios and the other things that you guys offer to these kids. It's not just sports. It's just a way of life for you. So I'm just proud to be a part of it, man. And it's great stuff. What made you, how did you get involved, actually, was a question.
Sounds good. As you say that, Illinois, Michigan was my first club 25 years ago.
Okay, there it is.
The Boomer Building. So I went to the Boys and Girls.
You about 5 years.
Yeah, I went to the Boys and Girls Club as a youth. I went to the Holden Club. And then when I went to college, I thought I would be a professional basketball player. But, those things, you realize at a time that, you got to get another route. So I was a social work major. I worked at the Boys and Girls Club in Lenawee as part of one of my classes. And I just fell in love with being able, the prevention side, being able to be a positive role model for the youth. And when I graduated from college, one of the directors called me and said there was a position open on Illinois in Michigan. I applied, I got it, and the rest is history. It's just been amazing being a positive role model for youth, being able to change lives. And then when you come back and you have adults now who are coming back, who I worked with, and their kids are actually playing for my son, who's an adult who went through the Boys and Girls Club, that makes it well worth it.
Respect.
What do you think about the Tigers?
We're excited. We're excited. We're excited. We hope they keep winning. We're definitely excited. I think it's amazing, and it's great because this summer was the first summer that our kids start playing t-ball and baseball through the Tiny Tigers program. So our kids are excited. They got to be in the parade a couple weeks ago. They got to be acknowledged on the field. So we're keeping a close eye.
That's so awesome.
We were talking on the show earlier, and we were talking about what the Tigers are doing. Kelly Carpenter, the big home run. They win in Cleveland. They're coming back now, tied 1-1. Yesterday, I think they just created a new generation of Tigers fans to roll on. Like, they were getting there. It was like, okay, they're good. We'll figure it out. But people aren't necessarily buying in. I think between the parade and I think from these kids seeing winning, seeing it on the national scale, you'll have Tiger fans for the next generation. And the generation past just missed. This generation, they got Tigers fans, man.
Closer to a championship, the Detroit Tigers or the Detroit Lions?
I'm gonna say both, but I'm pulling. I want to see the Lions. The Lions haven't been there I want to see the Lions do it. I want to see them pull it off. I think that will just be amazing for the city.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say Tigers.
They are.
Because they're right here.
Technically closer.
Right now.
They technically
And they're
closer.
riding the wave. So we still got 16 weeks of football. I'm going Tigers.
Right.
Absolutely. Chris Kiles, we cannot thank you enough for your time. Thanks for everything you do. We can't wait to see you again soon, all right?
I appreciate you all. And October 19th, if you're available, come out Ford Field. We'll be there 7:30 until 5 o'clock.
There you go. 7:30 till 5 o'clock. Ford Field is the place. Championship weekend, October 19th. For more information, go to bgcsm.org.
You stole my part, man. That's my part.
That is his read.
Say it again. We'll say
That's
it
his
again.
read.
Register at bgcsm.com. .org. See, you may mess up.
All right, Braylon, as we wrap up the show here with, we got a couple of baseball games tonight. 5 o'clock, it's the Mets and Phillies. And then tonight, the Dodgers and the Padres. Game in New York, game in San Diego. What do you make of tonight's baseball action?
San Diego, man, they're red hot. I know that's series title, but San Diego is hot. Fernando Tatis' bat is hot coming off that 2-home run game. So I think you got to go with those guys. They put up 10 hits? They put up 11 hits the other night. I'm going there, and then I'm gonna go with Matt. I'm gonna go with Maz. I think Maz is gonna provide some good luck to his Mets. You know, I played for the Jets. You know, we're the stepchildren of New York, so I'm cheering for the Mets. I'm going Mets and I'm going Padres.
All right, Mets and Padres.
Very different from when we started.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Good stuff, everybody. Thanks so much for being here again. Just to run it down for you, tomorrow we're gonna do a show for 1 hour from 2 until 3. And then we'll take that 3 o'clock up until game time. We'll rearrange the studio a little bit to do a watch party. So Tigers watch party tomorrow at 3. Tomorrow, the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz program from 2 until 3. So lots to get to. Lots of excitement here at Woodward Sports, Bray. And, man, nobody else I'd rather do it with, my friend.
Love you, man. And love you guys for tuning in. Hey, no pause on that. Press play. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. This is Woodward Sports, where we do it best. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Shout out to KG. Hell of a job by you.
Dog.
Peace, Spivak. Appreciate Dan Dickerson came in, as well as Anthony Tomey. And then last, we have my man Chris Kiles and BGCSM. I'm telling you, the people that we partner with, the people that we bring in front of you, we trust, and we actually have real strong roots with, man. So keep tuning in to us, man, and we'll keep doing you guys right, man. Pause on that. See you later.